way to kill my childhood.
I'll tell you what.
So,
tell you what.
You know, if you want to kill somebody else, go ahead and kill books. Go ahead, make my mom cry. She's like,
I don't kill books. I love books. Why would I kill books?
Well, I thought you were talking about taking books and making them ebooks, so therefore you're probably gonna unbind them and slash them up.
Therefore.
And do everything, destroy them and make.
You didn't have a drink on therefore? It's part of the drinking game.
Hey, I'm drinking. You just can't see me.
Anyway, yeah. So what we're gonna do. We're gonna take a regular book, a Dead Tree book, and we're going to make it an ebook. Now, there's a video out there. If you look it up on YouTube, if you look up how to make one of these, there's this guy. He takes a book, he binds it with this Black & Decker contraption, and then he takes a circular saw and just cuts the binding off, and then he opens the book. And what Patrick called it, Patrick Danahy called it, oh look, left-handed books, which I thought was really funny.
You know what, just hearing that made me think of like Peter Pan, where it's like, you know, Tinkerbell's like, in Peter Pan, it's like every single time someone says, I don't believe in fairies, a fairy drops down dead. It's like, I'm thinking every single time you destroy a book, there's so many librarians that
destroying one, I don't think you're destroying a book if you actually put it through a sheet-fed scanner and then you're preserving that book forever. Because that's really what you're getting to do. You want that paper somewhere, right? But we're not doing that. We're not going to take a saw to a book. We're going to take a camera to a book. Way less destructive. So,
because isn't that the point of what, didn't someone, they asked you to, you know,
yeah, we got an email from somebody who was like, I want to take my books. These were very special, and they were special to him. I think he had marked them up or something, or he had, they were in his family for a very long time.
Oh, okay.
And he wanted to get these books to his kids who were like overseas or something. It's actually quite a touching story. So then he goes, how do you go about making a book into an ebook? And I was like, when I first saw the question, I'm like, that's a little crazy. Like, why would you want to do that? But then I was, reading it again, and as we were talking, a bunch of us were sitting around at a table. I was like, how would you do this? How do you make a book into an ebook?
Who are you talking to?
Karsten, Brian was sitting there. We were having a weekly meeting. I was just reading out emails. And Karsten, our producer, right, if you're watching this, we just started wondering how to physically do this. So we were like, how did Google do this? And Google had a bunch of cameras. Like, oh, we take photos. I was like, oh yeah, Evernote does this. You take a photo.
Stop motion? Night for Christmas, I'm just thinking Jack, with his head moving.
Well,
just in one area and just all of a sudden just looks like his mouth is moving when he took a bunch of pictures.
I see what you're saying, because they have it's very, very regimented and rigged, right? That's how stop motion works.
Same exact spot.
Right, and that makes it a lot easier. Yeah, so we wanted to build a rig to take photos of books. And so that's what we're going to do on Thursday. We're going to show you the rig we built. But once we do that, we'll show you how to actually make the PDF or the JPEGs, whatever images you have, into an EPUB file or something like that. But the rig itself is not done yet. But it went through a lot of iterations, at least in my brain. And then a lot of iterations when I was walking around the hardware store trying to find pieces for it. Because when I couldn't find the right piece for the original design, I had to improvise and redesign on the fly. So I would go run to aisle 30 and pick up a carriage bolt and what can I attach this to? And I'd run over to
So basically when a mad scientist run and just
You should have seen the people working at Orchard watching me run back and forth.
Which is, by the way, called OSH to insiders.
Orchard Supply and Hardware, OSH as you're calling it, yeah. So I'm running from aisle 30 to 25, then I'm okay, I can't find the piece. I ask a guy, I finally break down and ask the guy, how can I do this? And he's like, I don't have that bracket. Maybe you could go to Maselli's tomorrow. And I'm like, I can't. Redesign the thing on the fly. Grab a piece of paper from a lady who I asked her, can I have a piece of paper? She said, sure.
So you're destroying more trees.
Well, I needed to save the trees. I think by drawing. So I took this piece of paper and had a pen on me. So I started drawing out something. Carriage bolt, running around, looking for a thing to hold it to. And then I found a lamp.
So is this the design? Because I remember you telling me that so the design that you revamped, is this revamping design that you worked out with Patrick?
Patrick Delahanty and I, we worked out about, I want to say four different versions of this. a thing to hold a camera. So like an articulating arm, a telescoping arm, a telescoping body, or like a base, a whole I think other crazy ones. He's got some really great ideas. But yeah, so I went back to the lamp concept because I couldn't find the telescoping arm, or I couldn't create something I used to have in science class, which was like literally a metal pole on a base that had a metal pole that would go up and down. That's all I wanted to do. And I couldn't find whatever that piece that connected it at the hardware store. We have the studio. And the reason why I didn't want the studio stuff was because I don't want people to go, I'm gonna look up some specialty stuff. I want you to be able to go to the hardware store. I want you to be able to find this stuff. Because otherwise it's just cheating. It's like, well yeah, of course I could build you something that's super custom. Like I could weld this or something. That's silly. I wanted to make something that people can make at home for like not a lot of money. So I think the whole build is $30.